Good morning. Today we're doing a throwback video. I will be performing Build a Wall from the Trump vs. Hillary drum battle. Now I had to take this video down a while ago to comply with US Marine Corps social media standards, but this is one of my favorite things that I've ever written. So in this video I will be re-performing Build a Wall, as well as teaching you how to make a proper split screen video, using Filmora 9, who is also the sponsor of this video. So I get a lot of questions asking what's the best cheap or free video editing software, and I absolutely recommend Filmora 9. Because you can see from this B-roll I'm using, yeah, the split screen looks really good, and I use this program. I will leave the link to download Filmora in the description. You can test it out with the trial version, but you will get the watermark on it when you render a video. So okay, let's get building some walls. Okay, so here we are in Filmora 9. I have all of my 5 clips imported into the project. So we are going to start with the tenor solo. I'm gonna drag that down here. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is make the cuts on this video. So I always go off of the audio files down here. You can see where I was playing and where I wasn't. And then I did like a whole bunch of tries until I got a good one, and that was this one right here. So we're gonna cut around that one and then delete all the extra, so we just have me on the left and then me on the right. Okay, then we drag the one guy up above. Now there's a couple ways to do this split screen here. You have this option up here that says split screen, and it is possible to make your split screen this way by taking one of these guys. Then I would drag the videos into one of these two. However, for this project that I'm doing, it's a little bit more complicated. I could do it for just the 2 tenor players, but when we have the 5 snares and the 5 bass drummers, yeah, it's a little bit more challenging to use one of these templates. So I'm just gonna do it manually, and I'll show you how. So you right click the top layer, go to crop and zoom, and I'm just gonna drag this over. Okay, so then you can see in the preview that it just brings that video right into the middle. So what you gotta do is you double click in here, and then you adjust the position X. You just slide it over until it's exactly right there. Okay, so now we have to line up the actual playing, because if we listen to it, it's gonna be all kinds of jacked up. Just sounds like I'm screwing around. So what I like to do, I like to line up usually the first note, so that's right there, and then I'm gonna move the top guy over. You can see in Filmora it has this pretty useful timeline tool. It narrows it down to, I think that's 1/100th of a second. That's what these little ticks represent, so that's good to see. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of messing around with just this audio file at the bottom. I'm gonna leave this one exactly the same, because if I mess around with both of them, then I might get offset with what's actually happened in the video. Okay, that was good up until looks like right about here. So we'll make another cut and slide that over 1/100th of a second. Alright, that was pretty good until the split might require a little bit of extra editing, because it sounds like all of my 4s in the split were a little bit too crushed. And you know, this is pretty difficult to do when I'm splitting with myself. If we take one guy out, this is all I could hear when I was doing this part. But it's okay, I can fix it. I have each of these splits just kind of going down to keep it organized, so we're gonna double click speed and duration. Kind of see where the attack of all 4 notes were. It looks like the last note is right there, so we're gonna try to make this go over so it leads into this one better. So let's drag it. Let's take some patience and a lot of time, definitely, to really get this to work exactly the way I want it. Okay, so there's the tenor feature, perfectly clean. 2 cuts here and then a bunch of edits with the split part to get it right. Now, just keep in mind that these are just a few milliseconds of adjustments here. Like if you are like way off on a part and you make a gigantic adjustment to the audio, the video will be kind of obvious that there was some kind of adjustment made. So okay, now I'm going to export this video. Okay, something I actually forgot about, and this is incredibly important. You need to, when you make these cuts, you gotta have a fade in and a fade out, wherever the cut is. That's because when you have like the sound just suddenly starting or suddenly stopping, it's gonna make a popping noise. All you do is drag this little guy to 1 to 2/10 of a second. And yeah, this was like totally obvious in the split part. This is the first video without the fades. Yeah, it might be hard to hear if you don't have headphones on, but it sounds like I'm kind of farting in between each split. Just a little poppy noise, which we don't want to be farting on the splits, all right? We want it to be nice and clean. That's much better. So, okay, I actually just realized there's probably a better way I can organize this, because I'm going to want to create a new project for each of these clips. So I should have initially imported all these files into the shared media folder. Okay, let's start a new project. Yeah, we'll do the snare and tenors first. By the way, these videos are pretty high quality, and Filmora is handling them quite well in the playback. And it also has these nifty little settings over here. I keep the quality on half. You could make it lower. We might need to actually make it lower when we layer 5 videos. It handled 2 really well, but I guess we'll see as we keep going here. Okay, that's pretty good. Clearly it's a little bit dirty. So when I'm doing these full ensemble split screens, as in snare, tenor, and bass drums all together, I only have the audio of one of the snares and one of the tenors. Okay, so I'm going to detach the audio from these two. I'm going to line the tenor up to the snare. And remember, you want to keep one of them exactly the same. So let's just play through it and see if we need to make any cuts. Okay, sounds like those two, I was a little slow on the tenor part. And we'll move this over. And remember, we're going to want to have a slight fade in. Okay, let's get on to the fun part, the split screen. Right click, crop and zoom, and select right in between these two drums. Now as we go over, I won't have to adjust this that way also, because remember, these videos are layered. This guy is below this guy. Okay, there it is, the 5-man split screen. Okay, cool. Export this video as well. Okay, so once again, we're going to the shared media folder. We're gonna do the bass drum parts. Actually, first, I'm gonna bring back this other video, the one we just did, because we're going to use the audio from this snare and tenor part as a reference. Bring the bass drum part in here and make the cuts. Oh, that was actually really, really good. Good job, self. Okay, good. So we got snare, tenors, bass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and organized. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take bass 1 and 2 out of every single unison note. And the reason for that is because having them in there overbalances the bass line. Because remember, we just got 1 snare and 1 tenor playing. So having all 5 bass drums doing unisons, that just kind of peaks out the sound and does not sound very good. And also, that is just more stuff that I have to clean up. So I just take out bass 1 and 2 out of all of the unison notes. Okay, cool, and we got all the bass drum parts done, and now we're gonna do the split screen. Okay, there we go, all 5 bass drummers. Okay, so once again, we are going to export this video. Okay, so now it's time to put everything all together. So this would be the point where I would do some color correcting. So to do that, we're gonna right click and then go to color correction. You can do all of this manually if you would like. There are presets also. These are quite interesting. So you can play around with all of these, try to get your video a little bit better, especially if your lighting is not good. Okay, so we got the snare and tenor in there. Now I'm gonna drag the bass drum above it, and we're gonna line these up with the audio. Okay, that's as close as we're gonna get. And remember, so the snare and tenor's audio is also in the bass audio. So we are going to mute the snare and tenor. So we just got everything in this track. Okay, so now we're gonna double click in here. And the way I like to do these split screens, I like to have the bass drums up here. So we'll drag them all the way up. So yeah, I'm gonna like chop my feet off. I like to put a solid line directly across where this cut is. I think it makes it look cleaner. So we're gonna go over here to sample colors. I'm gonna drag a white, crop this down. So that's just a little sliver. I want to have the sheet music down here, so what I like to do for that is drag another white, and then this we will slide it down off the screen, right about there, just so you can see the drums, and give enough room to put the sheet music into that. Okay, so I did exactly the same thing that I did with this first clip with the third clip here, so I need to screen grab every single line of music in this cadence. Yep, there it is, and then we just gotta do that for the whole thing and then put it into the program. Okay, so I screen grabbed, there was 9 different lines, they're all up in here, into this video layer here, and they are all minimized a little bit and dragged down into the white. And the last part of this cadence is the vocals, but I am gonna change them to make it a little more relevant to 2020. We're gonna go to File, Record Media, Record Voiceover. We need to wash our hands. We need to wash our hands. We need to wash our hands. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's the best thing I've ever done in my life. Okay, I just want to try one more thing here. Let me go to my effects folder. I'm gonna import this little green screen video in. And if you're looking for some good quality and royalty-free effects, I recommend checking out filmstocks.com. They have a wide variety of audio, video, and stock media. I guess this video has this dude dancing around. Yeah, let's keep that. Let's see what that looks like too. But what I really wanted was these highlight lines. Double click, and then there's an option for green screen right here. Okay, we gotta click the box. There we go. All right, we got the dude just dancing around. Maybe I'll leave that dude in. Let's see what this looks like. All right, I kind of want to leave the dude in now, but I mean, it's kind of distracting and you also can't read the music. So sorry, dude, you're getting cut out. So okay, I'm gonna export this video for the final and last time and show you guys the final product. We need to wash our hands. 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 I will have the cleanest hands that you've ever seen. We need to wash our hands. We need to wash our hands. My hands just got 10 times cleaner. China! Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you don't forget to check out Filmora. The link for that is in the description. Also in the description is the link to the sheet music for this cadence. If you are so inclined to play some of these beats, make sure you post it to the EMC Beats category on the Rank 1 Studios app. I will leave a link for that in the description as well. And there also might be some other hidden treasures down there in the description. Yeah, you might want to go down and look. And also don't forget to click that subscribe button, ring that Liberty Bell, and click that like button. And also consider buying a custom t-shirt such as this one. That link will also be in the description. And have a good morning.